But just from the beginning, when
yes, I had a.
First, you're the wife of the local evangelist preacher, do you?
Yes.
Jól mondtam?
Yes, I'm
Lutheran pastor.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'm Éva Dabassy. I'm the wife of Janusz, who is the Lutheran pastor for Victoria. I had
We have usually meet in the church.
Yes. When I was 28, I needed an operation. And as a result of the operation, I ended up with a near-death experience. And what I'm about to describe is what happened to me during that near-death experience and how I ended up coming back. Now, what happened was that I was given a drug to help ease the pain, to be able to repack my nose after an operation. And in the hospital...
Was it in here Melbourne?
In Melbourne,
it happened
yes.
Here, all right?
Yes, in Melbourne. And
do the witnesses alive?
Pardon?
Do the witnesses alive? Are the witnesses alive?
Yes, Janusz is here.
Janusz is here, but the nurses or...
Oh, I guess so, I don't know.
All right,
I was 28. So I'm now 50.
No, we don't talk about that. All right.
All right.
So proceed. You were on the
the
bed.
Now I ended up on the bed, and I ended up passing out, and because I was not able to breathe. And the next experience that happened was that I ended up, my spirit or my soul ended up in the corner of the room, looking down on my body. And during this process, the nurses, of which there would have been 5 or 6 nurses, were attending to me. They looked terribly worried, very, very worried. They looked as if it was serious and something serious was going to happen.
They knew it's not something easy. Not going to be something easy.
They knew that there was a really big problem. It was a life and death situation.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I just felt that it was just a natural process. My body just was on the bed, but my soul or was looking down on my body. They said, Mrs. Dabassy, you have to keep breathing, breathing, breathing. So they looked so intense that I ended up coming into my body and trying to breathe because they were asking me to breathe. So you must breathe, keep breathing. But it was too hard, my body wasn't working, so I ended up out in the corner of the room again. And this happened several times. They said, look, you must keep breathing, you must keep breathing. So again, into my body, and again flipped out, forced out of my body wasn't working. Eventually they said to me, I ended up going down a corridor, and like a light, a tunnel of light. And I ended up going down there, but then I heard a voice saying, no, you have to come back. It's not your time. You must come back. So I thought, I can't go down this
This sound was a sound of a man or a woman?
No.
Can you remember it?
It felt like God, actually.
Filled with power.
Sounded like, yes. Yes, I've heard this voice a couple of times in critical moments in my life. And that voice said to me, it was like God speaking. You don't mess about. You just...
You just knew that.
You just knew. You don't mess about. This is an order from a higher being, you know. And so I ended up back in the corner of the room again. And then what to do? Then I'm looking at Janusz, who looks terrible. He's very worried because... We've got a 4-year-old
Mert közben ön akkor tudta, hogy mi történik, és látta.
Right. And so Janusz is worried, but I'm looking at him out there, and it's bliss. out there. I was in a unified state, no good, bad, right, wrong. I could read everybody's thoughts. I could do whatever I wanted. So my mind said, well, Janusz will find himself a new wife. Yeah, he'll find himself a new wife. Medineni, his mother, loves Yuli. She'll look after Yuli. She's a good musician. She'll look after Yuli.
Yuli is your daughter.
Our daughter, she was 4. And so no problem, I'm superfluous.
I will be fine here in the corner.
That's right, it doesn't really matter.
The software in the corner, the hardware is, do whatever you want to do.
Exactly. But anyway, the nurses are there and they're still hovering and very worried. Eventually one says to the other, well look, there's oxygen, we should get oxygen. Why don't we go around to get some oxygen? So they leave this room and they go down a corridor, another corridor into a storeroom. So I see this, I go straight through, follow them right through into the storeroom. And then I hear, well, look, there's 9 of these big cylinders. They were nearly man height, up to my shoulder in height. They select one, and then one says to the other, do you know how to work this?
The chances are going higher and higher and higher.
Yeah. So they eventually put it on a trolley because it was heavy, and they wheel it around to where my body was.
Of course, they're running.
And they hook me up, and they're still talking to me, the ones that are in the room, but I was in this storeroom, so I wasn't listening, I was in the storeroom. And so they follow me around, and then they eventually hook me up, and through the oxygen they were able to get my body going, and then I could, my spirit and my body could stay together. Now, after that, it felt so natural. The doctor came, the specialist came, he repacked my nose. I stayed in hospital for a day or 2, and eventually I come home. Now,
did you remember already for all this, or it was a bright moment when it just popped out from the memories? How it happened?
No. Then what happened was that I come home. 3 or 4 days later, I'm lying in bed
just
one day.
Popped out.
And then I realised that I nearly died. Up until then, it was natural. But that night, I realised, I actually nearly died. And then I thought, now, how do I make sense of this? This is my... And this is the whole crux of my story, because when I realised that I nearly died, I realised there is no death. There is, as it is written in the scriptures, there is no death at all. Paul talks about this.
Yes.
And so
only the body dies, we not.
Only the body dies. The rest of us is eternal. Yes. And I had an experience of my eternal nature.